Hey everybody, welcome to the Friday live stream. Glad to have you. Let's see. Today we're going to be kind of just going over. Oh, I got to adjust a little. Going to go over a few news items from the streaming world and kind of I wanted to get your take on a few things, both from videos that I've put out recently and ones that are coming up. And of course, there is going to be a giveaway today. The previous giveaway from a couple of weeks ago, the previous giveaway's winner has been notified. And their item will be shipped out shortly. I think last time it was an Echo Dot, which I've got a couple of. So that was a good get for that person. This week it's going to be an Echo Auto. This is a device that I used to test a while ago, so we're going to be giving it away. It's the unit that I tested, so it is a used unit out of the box, but hey, that's what we got. So check the description below, and you can go to that page. I think it's Reviews.org/giveaways, and bookmark that page so that you are always ready for the next giveaway, because we do these weekly or nearly weekly. Last Friday, I took my birthday off, and I refuse to apologize for that. Okay, so with all that out of the way, I'm trying to think what else, if there's any other housekeeping we need to take care of. I hope you've all been enjoying our coverage lately on the channel. We've had what I think are some pretty great videos lately. Videos from Juan on Starlink. Tashaka's brought us some good info on the new OnePlus phones. And then recently, this is going to start tying into our topic today. We've got a few topics today, but I'm going to start with a little bit of a softball one, kind of an interesting one. Sorry, but let me go back. The video that I released, I want to say it was, was it just this week? Might have been last week, was my personal top 10 streaming videos. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. In fact, you know what? I'll pull it up. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go to our channel. So here, let me share my screen with you here. So you can go to our channel. Of course, that's us right now. We don't need to go in there. But on the videos tab, the latest, there we go, the definitive top 10 streaming apps of 2021. So you go in here and, okay, fine. 31. Play the ad. Hey, everybody's got to make a buck. We got to make a buck. You got to make a buck. Hey, who's that handsome devil? Okay, so the definitive top 10 streaming apps. I released this a while ago. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go do so. And also, if you've never done it before, you go onto YouTube. If you watch on the YouTube app, or the website, I should say, then right down here on the timeline bar, you might have seen these chapters. They've been doing this for like a year and a half, something like that. But we use them pretty frequently for a video like this so that you can skip around. If you don't want to sit for an entire 11-minute video, I mean, I'm hurt, but I understand. So you can come check it out and see what my ranking was. So the way I did this video was, as I said, kind of in the beginning of the video, is that I have always done these top 10 streaming apps with some kind of, that's distracting to have me moving in two different places. I've always had some kind of theme. It's like top 10 free streaming apps, the top 10 hidden gems on Roku, or, the best paid apps on Apple TV, whatever. It's always been really focused. And I was like, you know what? Let's blow this out and see what happens if I just kind of do a objective, semi-subjective ranking of all the streaming apps, paid, free, regardless of platform. I don't care what kind of content it is. And the results surprised me quite a bit. And I know I can't be the only one. If you go through there, my number 2 pick, behind only Disney Plus, was Amazon Prime. That surprised me, okay? Because it feels rare to me that I actually go into Prime Video. It seems much more likely for me to go into Hbo Max or Netflix or Disney Plus. I'm sorry, I'm looking at at my TV here. Which ones do I use the most? Yeah, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max. In fact, if you look at my screen, those are the top 3 choices that I've got on my Roku TV because I'm just always in there. Anyway, so I was blown away, but apparently, and this one is tricky. There may be a lot of people out there like me who kind of just have Prime Video and end up using it more often than you might expect. So the first news item that I wanted to share with you, this one comes from Cord Cutters News, and this was after the annual letter to shareholders from Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. They put out this stat that they have now reached 200 million Amazon Prime members. Now, this is why it's a little bit tricky. Thank you, Jeff, for the belated happy birthday. Appreciate it. This is where it gets tricky. This does not mean that there are 200 million Prime Video viewers. But just by tying those two things together, the video service and Prime generally, Amazon has created a behemoth, and it turns out it's pretty darn great, but what I'm wondering is if any of you kind of similarly find yourself using Prime Video as a default because it's there because you've already signed up for Prime shipping or whatever, and so yeah, I'll pop in and see what's on Prime. Maybe you watch Marvelous Miss Maisel or The Boys or something like that. They do have some great originals in there, but yeah, I'm curious what your thoughts are on Prime Video and whether. So basically, let me rephrase my question or reorient my question a little bit. This is the same number as Netflix. Netflix has over 200 worldwide subscribers. Sorry, 200. Yeah, they do have over 200 million worldwide subscribers, and this suggests that Prime Video may be somewhere around that ballpark, but I'm wondering what your experience with it has been. But while you are letting me know, I'm just going to go back in the comments, and now I can start addressing the chat. Yeah, it's backwards, so it's over there. Let's see. Okay, so we are going to get to the Google Play stuff in a moment. Would love to see if I can get the DirecTV app for Roku. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I saw this right before we started the live stream, and I ran over to my Roku and I double checked, and yeah, it's not there. So let's see. All right, Ryan, you bought the Echo Auto for yourself. You loved it. Think you could buy one for your mom too. That's great. Well, if you want, go over to the link in the description. Enter to win. It's chosen randomly. The app that you enter your stuff into randomly chooses a winner for us. So I have no idea if you'll win or what your chances will be by the time everybody goes in there. But hey, maybe you can get an Echo Auto to share with your mom. All right. So Jayden says, hey, Craig, I think people complain about how many streaming services there are, and I don't know why I do that, and how much they cost, but they have cable and pay for Netflix, etc. with it. Yeah. So this is something that we talk about, or that I talk about at least on this channel pretty frequently, and that's that, you can read any number of hand-wringing op-eds in magazines and newspapers and whatever online websites about how, the streaming revolution was supposed to save us money, but if we sign up for, and then they list, a dozen different streaming services, we end up paying the same as we did for cable. And it's like, well, yeah, the content was broken out of the shell of, you have to have the cable subscription to get HGTV or whatever. It was broken out of that and sent off, but it doesn't mean that the content you're watching isn't still expensive to produce. It is. Just because it's not on cable, it still costs a lot of money to bring you the shows that you enjoy, especially scripted shows. If we're talking about certain unscripted TV, say like anything on, not anything, but a lot of stuff on Discovery Plus is made pretty cheaply. But that's why they can, give it to you for $5 a month. Anyway, point being, Yeah, it is. It's expensive to get everything because those things are still expensive to produce. Um, the real revolution that streaming has brought us, if I may be so bold, is choice. It's not price, it's choice. You can sign up for everything. In fact, in that top 10 streaming apps video that I was showing you just a moment ago, I calculated it out, and there were 3 free streaming services in my top 10, and then the other ones were all paid. And if you signed up for all of them, it was $66 a month before tax. You get to decide whether that's a deal or not. And frankly, I don't think most of us would want or need to sign up for 7 paid streaming apps. Most of us, some of us are the exception to that rule. But anyway, you have the choice whether you want to pay that $66 a month, or if you just want to sign up for 3 of them and you're paying $25 or $30 a month, whatever the case may be. So that's where the complaints, I hear the complaints all the time in our comments section, in those op-eds that I was talking about. I hear them and I understand them, but I just don't think people have quite thought through what the cord cutting revolution has actually done for us up to this point. And who knows what it's going to look like in 5 years, but we'll see. All right. TLP in my handle. That's a great question. That's my Twitter handle at TLP Craig. I am the host of the Legendarium podcast. I make a lot of different shows. That's the one that I've been running since 2014. It's a fantasy and sci-fi book club podcast. So you can see here's a few of my fantasy and sci-fi books up there. Anyway, so yeah, that's what that means. It's the Legendarium podcast. Okay. I like The Expanse on Prime Video. That was a good one. I watched the first season. I haven't watched past, and I hear it gets a lot better. But I enjoyed the first season, and I plan to watch more of it. Most of the time, can't find anything, so I look on Prime. That's interesting. So Prime is where you go if you can't find something somewhere else, which kind of makes sense. They've got a really, really great library for people to explore. Okay. So, let's see. Rula says you already have the DirecTV Go app on my Roku. I was searching through. I didn't see one, so I'm wondering about that. I'd love it if you email me, Craig at Reviews.org. Send me a link to that. I mean, I'll go search it after the live stream, but you can make my life easier and send me that. Okay, let's see. Anything else before we get to the next news story? Okay, so BSN says, I like Prime. It's a nice bonus for shipping. I also get HBO through Amazon. So live HBO and HBO Max, yeah, through Amazon, which is a great way to do it. That's one of the nice things about whether it's Prime Video or the Apple TV device / app or the Google Chrome, the new Chromecast with Google TV, whatever. It's nice to have everything in one place. The Roku app does this as well, where, I don't mind so much having to go to different apps, but I can see I can see a real benefit in having everything in one place. So yeah, a lot of people like to do that. HBO Max should be called HBO Plus. Yeah, it probably should. I don't know. I like the name HBO Max. And besides, when I'm doing a list, like literally when I'm writing scripts for these videos that I do, it's nice not to have to say plus after everything. So I can say Disney Plus and Discovery Plus and then break it up with an HBO Max or a Netflix. It's nice not to have plus everywhere. Am I going to review AMC Plus? Speaking of the pluses, am I going to review AMC Plus? Should I? Give me a reason. So far, I haven't, just because when it comes to those types of apps, and I know this one is different, but when you see channel-specific apps, it's, in the past at least, it's been like, well, okay, great. You can stream some of the newer episodes from that channel on this app, and that's about it. But for instance, with Discovery Plus, they own so many different channels that they were able to bring everything into one place. And I know AMC is kind of the same way. So maybe I should. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, give me a reason. Okay, so I have got to I've got to get to the next news story, and then I'll come back to do some more questions. So the next thing, the thing that I put on the thumbnail. This is an interesting one, and this one is coming to us from. Let's see. Well, I read about it in Tom's Guide. That's a good website if you want to go check it out, and that's this one right here. There we go. Google is pulling this app from Roku devices and TVs. Here's why. Okay, so it's the Google Play Movies and TV app. In fact, you know what? I don't even know if I have that downloaded on my Roku. So that could be interesting if it's going away and I won't even notice. I think I've got it on here. Let's search it out. Okay, here. Why don't I'll blow this up just a little bit so we can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go to. Do I have it downloaded? I do. Okay, good. So yeah, what this means, that icon, you'll recognize that icon, Google Play Movies and TV, that one is going away, not for a little while. I think it's July 15th. Yes, July 15th is when that will go away. Now, here's why it's not a disaster. And I'm going to turn the TV around again in just a moment so we can see on the screen. So here's what's going to happen. That app is going away. It's on Roku and on several smart TVs. So Samsung, LG, Vizio smart TVs. So it'll be gone. But that doesn't mean that the content you bought there is going to be gone. So here's how it's going to work. In fact, here, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can make this work. We've done this in weeks past. Oh, you know what? It's not going to work because, shoot. It's not going to work. It's getting pretty close. We'll hold it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the YouTube app. Sorry, I know this is kind of weird to watch it this way, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I used to have a different system for this camera where I could just turn it to the TV, and that was not available today. Okay, so if I go to my homepage here, there you can see the Legendarium. That's my podcast account. Okay, I'm going to come down here. You would think it's going to be in movies and shows, but it is not. Your content is going to be here in library and then your movies and shows. So my stuff is, I've only bought a few things off of Google Play over the years, but they are there. So I can watch them right here in the YouTube app, which is what you are going to be expected to do once this change goes into effect. So not a disaster, but it is an interesting development as far as, you know, where Google, where Alphabet, where YouTube is putting their energy. So this is a kind of an indication that that they're going to be putting more and more resources and whatnot into YouTube and pointing people in that direction. So right now it's Roku smart TVs, Samsung, Vizio, LG smart TVs. But my assumption would be that this will kind of become the norm and that they will start to roll more things into YouTube. YouTube, I mean, obviously, many of you are watching me on YouTube. Some of you are on Facebook. But like YouTube, as you know, it's a behemoth, and it should not be denied. Although I did deny it when I did that top 10 streaming apps. I did not include YouTube. It's kind of unfair. Okay. Did you just get a glimpse of what Craig watches on YouTube? Yeah, a lot of StarCraft content, Red Letter Media. What else? I mean, there's a few things. Yeah, I don't know. I watch what everybody else watches. Random stuff on YouTube. That's what we do, right? So yeah, anyway, sorry. Let me know. I was responding to Ryan here. Let me know what you what you think about this. Now, this is an interesting one. Jason says, I got $35 because of the Play shutdown. Yeah, which is interesting. If something isn't getting ported over or whatever, they are sending people these kind of gift cards so that they can get the same thing and make sure it shows up on YouTube. So there you have it. Russ, I'm going to get to this one in just a moment. For now, we'll stick on Google Play and Roku and see if anybody else has any other questions on that. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to make sure you'll see some headlines about, oh, this is going away and could be a disaster for Google users. It's not. Don't worry. You'll be just fine. Okay, so let me go back just a little bit. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and leave that behind. Let's get to your general questions again. Jeff says, I rarely watch Prime Video anymore. I watch a lot of Discovery Plus now, but that may be my age group, 55 plus. Jeff, I got to say, with the sunglasses and the hair going back, you do bear something of a resemblance to, oh gosh, what's his name? The Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives guy. Guy Fieri. Yeah. So, and he's all over Discovery Plus. There's like, how many seasons of that show? Like 38 seasons or something like that. And they're all there on Discovery Plus. So that's fantastic. I think Discovery Plus is awesome. I can't claim that I watch it all that often because it's not the style of TV that I generally enjoy. But just because I don't use it as much doesn't mean I don't recognize how awesome it is for somebody who does use that stuff. Okay, so sorry, going back to the YouTube apps and all that stuff. There's this one, the YouTube app sucks on Echo Show. It doesn't even exist. The Echo Show, so I'm going to be doing a brief, small review on the Echo Show here coming up in the next couple of weeks, because I've been using the Echo Show 5 that I gave away a couple weeks ago, and I've got an Echo Show 8 in the house, and I've been testing both of those. And yeah, I've got some thoughts. It's so awesome in some ways and not so great in other ways. So yeah, that'll be a fun one to talk about. I don't want to get too much into it. Okay, but let's go back to Russ's other question. What is the best streaming TV service in your opinion? Well, if you go to my definitive top 10 list of the best apps, I've listed them out here in rank order. Excuse me, I ranked them IMDb TV, which is free, Discovery Plus, which is not, Roku channel, which is free, Peacock, which can be free, Hulu, Apple TV Plus, which I understand. I know it's controversial, but I think Apple TV Plus is, oh, you know what? Sorry, let me blow that up for you. Apple TV Plus is the most underrated streaming service out there. Netflix came in number 4, believe it or not. It didn't even crack the top 3. Netflix, HBO Max beat Netflix, Prime Video was number 2, and Disney Plus was number 1. And Disney Plus is another one, kind of like I was talking about just now with Discovery Plus. Disney Plus is one that I don't watch all that often. My kids do. I don't watch it all that often, but I can still recognize just how excellent it is as far as its content selection. So yeah, in fact, I still get comments on old Disney Plus videos, the new ranking videos and all that stuff. People, are saying Disney Plus sucks. I never watch Disney Plus. And I'm like, those are two different statements. You might never watch it, but it doesn't suck. And both are fine. Okay, so let me get to the next one. So yeah, sorry, that was my ranking. I mean, obviously, YouTube is like one of the best things, in my opinion, to happen to the internet like ever. So I try not to count it because it's just so ubiquitous and it's so great. I'm afraid it might overtake everything else too easily. The story I love to go back to was I used to own a 2003 Hyundai Elantra, and I had to change the headlights one day. And I'm like, I've changed plenty of headlights before. This was, gosh, 7 or 8 years ago. I was like, I've changed plenty of headlights. This won't be a problem. So I popped the cover off and I looked down in there, and the mechanism, the mechanism for the lamp, it was completely different than anything I'd seen before on this Hyundai. And so I was like, well, geez, I kind of popped it out, and then I couldn't figure out how to put it back together again with the new lamp. And so I went on YouTube and I searched 2003 Hyundai Elantra change headlight, and boom, right there, 4-minute video on just exactly how to do this thing and where this goes, and load this spring, and it was beautiful. So I've always loved YouTube. Ever since then, it's got everything, right? So that's my excellent YouTube story. I'm glad you all came for my TED Talk. Okay. So let's see. I don't watch it, but my wife loves it. Yeah, and this seems to be the case with a lot of people who comment, and it's the case in my house as well. My wife loves the content on Discovery Plus. I'm a little bit more like, yeah, it's nice every once in a while, but let's see. All right, I like Apple TV Plus's programming, but it's annoying how they don't have an Android app for it, but they do have one for Apple Music. Yeah. This one's so hard. It's so hard because I want to judge Apple so harshly and say, gosh, just build the app. Let us Android users enjoy it too. Your content is great. But the thing is, they're not making great content for the sake of making great content. They are making great content on Apple TV Plus as a way to get you either into their ecosystem or further cemented in their ecosystem. And so, that's why it's always going to run best on the Apple TV device. It's always going to run best on iPhones and iPads and all that stuff. I get it. It's part of their business plan with Apple TV Plus, and I get frustrated just like you do. But it's hard for me to get too worked up, just because, from a business perspective, I guess I understand, and I don't blame them too harshly for you. Zemo. Is this the guy, the German actor? Somebody else said this. Oh, Daniel Bruhl. Yeah, that's right. Spanish German. I got this a few times lately in the comments. I can see it. If my hair were shorter and I were 58% more attractive, then yeah, I would look just like Daniel Bruhl. Okay. Oh, Russ, you'd love to work there and create a top 10 list that beats mine? Good luck. It'll never happen. That was, I don't know if you saw it, Russ, but that was the definitive top 10 streaming apps of 2021. So, I mean, I understand why you would want to do that, but that's the thing. It can't be done. It's a definitive list. So, okay. TED Talk over. Yeah, YouTube, like many places on the internet, it's got its dark corners, but I don't look for them. I don't find them, so I don't worry about them. Before we go on, let me just remind those who have joined the stream in the last few minutes, in case you missed it at the beginning, go check the description below for the link to the giveaways page. This week I'm giving away an Echo Auto, so you can get Echo in your car, which some people find not valuable at all. Others find extremely valuable. So it kind of depends maybe on how integrated you are in that ecosystem, but it's a pretty nifty little device. So go check the giveaway page down there in the description. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get to the other one in just a second that made me laugh. This one, Apple TV Plus is worth it just for the show For All Mankind. I love that show. I love Joel Kinnaman. I just started season 2, so no spoilers. But Joel Kinnaman is fantastic, and there's a lot of other great talent on the show. But I've really enjoyed him. I loved him in Altered Carbon. I thought he was great there. Anyway, there's so many other shows. Ted Lasso is the best show, the best season of television that I've seen in 10 years. Period. Now fight in the comments. It is the best show, the best single season of TV that I've seen in 10 years. And the best pandemic episode in 2020 belonged to Mythic Quest. If you haven't watched Mythic Quest and you like that kind of goofy office comedy, that's a great show. And their final episode was a pandemic episode, and it was the best pandemic episode of 2020. So Ryan says, do you ever just scroll through your TV and never actually watch anything? You better believe it. Although it happens to me less now than it did a few years ago, just because I have found the things that I enjoy, especially during the summer. Sorry, my hair has fallen in my face a little bit. Especially in the summer, I've got the MLB TV app, and that's pretty much just on whenever I need some background noise. So I watch a lot of MLB, and then I kind of know if there's something on. Here's how it works for me: MLB when I need background noise. If I'm sitting down to actually want something, to watch something, then I'll flip on Netflix if I know what I'm going there for. I don't scroll Netflix anymore. Just not really something that I do. But if there's a big hit, a lot of people are watching this or that or the other, it's been recommended a lot, then I'll go into Netflix and watch that. If I'm just scrolling, if I'm like, I have no idea what I want to watch, then I go into HBO Max, because they have a much better chance, in my mind, of serving up something to me that I'm going to find interesting. So let's see. Bring back Quibi. They are bringing back Quibi. It's going on the Roku channel. In case you missed that a few months ago, the Roku channel bought all of Quibi's content. So Quibi isn't coming back, but Quibi content will be on the Roku app coming soon. Jeff, I probably missed you already. Sorry. It was great to have you. Okay. Let's see if I can. Oh my, I missed a few. I apologize. Yes. Have you heard of this? This is actually a rumor that is going around. There's an Apple event coming up. It could be something that they announce this month. Maybe it's something that would be coming down the pike later. But the rumor is that, yes, this is exactly what we have coming. Roku has a soundbar with Roku built in. It's a smart soundbar. Pretty slick. It's a good soundbar and a good device. And so, yeah, the rumor is that Apple kind of wants to get in on that game, and that they'd be combining the functionality of the HomePod and the Apple TV 4K. So I think in my mind, it's a no-brainer. A device like that, let's say they charge $250 for it, to get that level of sound quality and an Apple TV 4K, you'd probably pay $400 or $500. And so I'm making assumptions on how it'll sound, but as we know, Apple does whatever else we might think of them. They do a good job of putting out a good product generally. And so I would assume it would be a good sounding device. And yeah, let's say it costs $250. You're saving money instead of having to buy both the devices. It's a no-brainer for me for them to do that. But we'll see if they ever actually unveil something like that. All right. Okay, where are we? Jason says from the UK, videos not always relevant, but I enjoy watching them anyway. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Jason. And that is, it's a struggle, and it's something that I've had to consciously decide to do. We can't possibly keep track of every streaming service and the release dates and the availabilities and the devices and the switches and this and that and the other. And if we tried to do that worldwide, I would need a much, much bigger team. As far as like streaming services go, I'm basically it. We've got Chantel who fills in every so often and does a video here and there. But kind of the same thing with Tashako over on mobile. You know, he can't keep track of every device everywhere in the world. Steve, same thing with smart home. We are but one person, but you know, a collective of one persons. And so, yeah, like I would love to be able to speak internationally, but it's too much. So, but I appreciate that you like them. I'm so glad that you do. I always hope that the videos that we put out are entertaining as well as enlightening. So that's appreciated. Okay. I would pay 3 times the price of Apple TV Plus for an Android app. I wouldn't, but and I love Apple TV Plus, but it seems like a bit much for me. Okay. I look like Big Diesel? I'm afraid to look that up. Is that from WWE? I'm seeing Kevin Nash. I look nothing like that guy. maybe Big Diesel with 10 years worth of dad bod. Whatever. Okay, so let's do our last piece of news that I wanted to show you. This is an interesting one, especially in light of the list that I put out. So we've talked already about my top 10 streaming apps, my all-time or current, I guess, top 10 streaming apps. And now Variety is reporting, that's where I saw it. Oh, it was Morgan Stanley did a survey of streaming users. And they found, here, let's blow that up a little more. 39% of Americans say Netflix has the best original content of all streaming services. Okay. I find this fascinating. And not altogether surprising, but it is something that I wanted to dwell on just a little bit. And so without any other context, I am going to pull up a poll here, and I'm going to have you guys all live vote in this poll. And it's basically this question: what has the best original content? So I'm going to put this in the comments here. So you should be able to click on that whether you're in Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on mobile, I'm not sure what it'll do as far as bringing bringing up a different tab or whatever. But if you're able to, pop over there and vote for what you think has the best original content. And what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to pull this up here and let you guys take a look at this. In fact, while you are doing that, I'm going to go grab a drink. So for the next 60 seconds, you go ahead. I'm going to go get me a soda. All right, how are we looking? We've got Apple TV Plus with 3 votes. Yeah, and I know we're not going to get a scientifically accurate amount of polling here, but it'll be interesting to see what you all think, at least on this live stream. You all know how I feel about Apple TV Plus and how I think it's underrated. But apparently not everybody feels that way. All right. So we got Apple TV. Whoever voted other, go ahead and throw that in the chat. Let me know what your other is. So somebody says, let's see. Do we include old HBO shows? I would. Maybe that's just me. No one voted for Hulu. Poor Hulu. All right. Throat was getting a little dry, so thanks for hanging in there. So, okay, so we got 4 votes for Apple TV Plus and HBO Max. That seems about right. So with this story here, 39% of Americans say Netflix has best original content of all streaming services. I haven't dug into, who they interviewed and whatnot, but my guess is that you're more likely to say Netflix has the best originals if you're a casual streamer. If you stream more frequently, if you're so interested in it that you are subscribed to our channel and you are interested in the industry and all that stuff, my guess is that Netflix would be less likely in that case to be your number one choice. Not that you wouldn't like it. Again, we're talking about rankings here, not like a good or bad rating system. It's just like, what is the best one? So anyway, if we scroll down here, we get a little chart here. 39% said that Netflix was the best. This I thought was really telling. 23% don't know. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever. But for those who do stream, Amazon Prime made it. They've got some great originals. Disney Plus, which is interesting because they've got like a few originals. Not very many. Certainly not very many of note. But they are high quality. So 7% of people said Hulu, 6% for HBO Max, Apple TV Plus, only beat Showtime and Stars, which I thought was interesting. So, I don't know. What do you all think of this? And where are we at with that, with your survey? Did we get any more? Nah, it's about the same. Okay. So, let's see. All right. So HBO Max is tricky because they have classics in the HBO franchise. Yeah. You didn't include those. Game of Thrones, Sopranos, The Wire. Yeah. I mean, I would. It's kind of, I don't know. Is it cheating? It might be cheating because it's like in that case, Disney Plus is just full of, but I mean, it is. It's full of Disney originals. I don't know quite how to do that, but you're right. It is a tricky one. The thing that I am working on, it should be released next week, a video on HBO Max versus Hulu. And kind of, I'm going to be arguing, what did I say? Versus Hulu? Sorry, HBO Max versus Netflix. HBO Max versus Netflix. And I'm going to take both sides of the argument and kind of, argue for each one, why each one is better than the other. And there are really good arguments either way. Basically, the way that I come down on this, especially as far as original content goes, because Netflix has, I want to say 2,000 titles now of original content and growing very, very quickly. It's amazing. They're spending $19 billion on content in 2021. $19 billion. Anyway, the way in my mind that it works is that Netflix tailors their content. And so if you get really into Netflix and get that algorithm to work for you, then you're more likely to get content that is geared toward you and it feels like your feed. Like this is the stuff that I like. Netflix knows I like it. They're going to serve up more stuff like this. Like this feels like my streaming service. HBO Max, on the other hand, is a little bit different. And I think they end up with more of a feeling of this is streaming that everybody's going to love. They've got the adult content from HBO stuff. They've got a kids section. They've got, the old library from Warner Brothers and whatever. We'll just call it the Warner Media Library. I didn't want to get that wrong. They've got everything. And with the new releases that are coming out, the Godzilla versus Kong, the Wonder Woman's, the whatever else, I'm so excited for the Mortal Kombat movie to be terrible and so enjoyable anyway. that kind of thing, where it's like when you log into HBO Max, you're more likely to see something that a ton of people would enjoy. And so, yeah, kind of depending on what your style is going to dictate which one you prefer. Anyway, let me go back here to the chat. I'm looking at it, but it's on the other side of me. Okay. I know I missed a few things. Let's see. Jaden says, sorry for the same question. So sorry if I missed it earlier. Would you like Fire TV OS on TCL and really good TVs like Roku? I do, because I think the TVs with Fire TV OS built in kind of sucks. No, it's all about preference. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Fire TV OS per se. In fact, I think the new Fire TV OS is pretty darn good. And we went over that a couple of weeks ago, so you can go back and check out that live stream. Sorry, I was distracted. Oh yeah, anyway, so yeah, they're all fine. It's really just a matter of personal preference. I have used Roku now since the beginning of my cord cutting journey, and I'm used to it. It's kind of one of those like, I know what I like and I like what I know kind of a thing, but I like all these other operating systems just fine. In fact, I love the new Google Chromecast with Google TV. I think that interface is fantastic. So yeah, I'm waiting there are some TVs that are supposed to come out this year with the new Google TV interface in there. I'm really excited about that. Okay. And this is an excellent comment, because I think this is exactly what Netflix is going for. They know that you're going to say this, but the thing is, everybody says this, and everybody's niche is a little bit different, and they're playing to every niche. HBO Max is playing to everyone, and Netflix is playing to every niche. Does that make sense? And so everybody is going to say Netflix has 100 bad shows for every one good show, but everybody's one good show is going to be different. And that is, I just think that's a beautiful thing. If they can pull it off and they can maintain profitability and all that stuff, like, more power to them serving those niches. So you feel like nobody talks about Netflix originals until one blows up. Yeah, and that's kind of the point. Like with HBO Max, it's like everything they put out, they're trying to make it blow up. They're trying to make it as widely interesting as possible, whereas Netflix doesn't care. They don't care if you don't like, these 4 originals that they put out this week, because you're going to like this one, whatever it turns out to be. All right. So this one, okay. Sorry, going back to my HBO Max versus Netflix. It'll be similar, but not quite the same. That one, because of the pandemic, you can see I'm in my home studio. I have been for over a year now. And we used to be able to kind of get together, and I would have somebody help me film. And so we could set it up just right and do that fun video where I'm in both places at once. I'm not going to bother with that. It'll be more like one of those Ryan George videos, where he's doing the pitch meetings or something. Not like that, but yeah, 2 different personas, neither of them on screen at the same time. Got to keep it simple, because we don't have the same resources that we did a little while ago. All right. Ooh, this is good. I wish I could thumb up or thumbs down on HBO Max. Yeah, no, I understand. That's one of my favorite things about the new Chromecast with Google TV, is that you can do that on any show. And it takes that into account. I think it's fantastic. Okay. Our cord cutters massively disagrees with me on the new Fire TV OS. Oh no. I'm not going to worry about it. No, it's Reddit is another one of those places where it can be an interesting place, but I don't tend to go there very often these days. People can form their opinions. I haven't used the new Fire TV OS as much yet. I've only used it for, maybe cumulatively a couple of hours. So I'm happy to have my opinion revised as I use the platform, but I refuse to fall into the groupthink that tends to happen on forums like that. One person says something and then another person agrees, and then everybody has to agree or they're a pariah. And I don't care for that sort of thing. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to start wrapping this up here in the next few minutes, but I'll answer a couple of other things. Tariq says, the Apple TV 4K is my favorite device. Apple always seems to get the new features first for each service's app. They also have every service available. I can't think of one they don't have. Neither can I. But that's getting to be more and more the case these days with everybody, right? So Apple always seems to get new features first for each services app. That's probably more about iOS, on phones being the most popular single phone out there. The Apple TV device isn't nearly as popular as the iPhone, and there aren't nearly as many Apple TVs in circulation as there are Rokus and Fire TVs. But still, Apple is definitely still seen as a leader in the industry, right? So it's like, well, if Apple gives their stamp of approval and they put this app on their app store, then we're legit. And nothing wrong with that. So people still play to Apple. Makes sense. Netflix movies seem intentionally bad. Again, I'm not going to give my my whole Netflix lecture again, but of course they do. To 90% of people out there. All right. So, okay. I guess last thing, my Cubs suck so bad this year. Well, I'm a Mariners fan, so I believe that I have all other sports fans beat when it comes to not being a fair weather fan, right? Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's always fun to chat with you guys here on these live streams. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, go to the description below for the giveaway for this week. It's an Echo Auto. You'll get all the instructions on that page. When this HBO Max versus Netflix video comes out next week, I want all of you to go in, like, comment, argue, give me your best shot. Totally great. Love to hear that stuff. And if you do like the videos that we put out, I'll just mention this one last time. If you enjoy what we do, you want to support us here on the Reviews.org channel, the best thing you can do is share the content. So I was poking a little bit of fun at the Cord Cutters subreddit, but that would be a great place to share some of this content. Let people argue there on Reddit as well. That would be great. So anyway, thank you all for your support. Thank you for watching today. Yes, I will consider AMC Plus for a review. Nobody gave me any good reason yet, but maybe I'll go find my own. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys. I think I'm off next week. I'm taking a little vacation, so I'll see you in 2 weeks for another live stream. So yeah.